October 12th, 2011. I was thinking about this unfoldment of my own self-awareness in self-development of my self-responsibility and self-accountability in becoming self-conscious. That's a lot of self. And from what I've read, and I actually am beginning to see it, I've seen it for a long time, but it was very important for me to actually hear other authors, people I admire and respect, and they all come about the same answer in their own way. It helped me feel much better about what I was observing because I wasn't getting a lot of it back from others. But the idea goes that everything we experience is either an overt or a covert agent of our own wills. And it stems from the idea that we are all one and that individuality and separateness, though it exists, it is only one perspective. There is another perspective, another focus. I think James Joyce termed it a dual focus. But I won't go there. And in this concept of everything either being an overt or covert agent of our own will, what we experience outside of us is our own self-awareness in relationship, meaning, let us say that we have separated off an aspect of ourself that we come to discover in the field of time, the field of relativity, the field of separateness, the field of duality, the field of self and other. I read in Joseph Campbell a line. He said, "The Buddha takes the form of its auditors." In another way, the Godhead takes the form of those that audit it. And he read quite a bit of Goethe. I think that's how it's pronounced in German. I've heard quite a few different pronunciations, and I'm English American, and I say Goethe, which is all wrong. So I'm told. But they know who I'm talking about. Anyway. To paraphrase a statement of his, the Godhead is effective in the living, growing, and changing, making use of the fixed and set fast. And there's that saying, if you're not growing, you're dead. And he also used the terms reason and understanding. The Godhead is effective in the living, growing, and changing with reason, making use of the fixed and set fast, what is understood. Taken a step farther, if we don't have understanding, or if we have misunderstood, then we're made aware of a different reason once we discover our mistakenness. Perhaps we realize we've been separated off from the Godhead, or something along those lines. So, in everything being a covert or overt agent of our own will, I had this earlier. Oh, and that we are the auditors of the Godhead. If everything is a secret agent or an overt agent of our own will, and we are the ones that audit the Godhead, and the Godhead takes the form of its auditors, those who audit the Godhead come to recognize it, come to realize it, then we and it are one. I started these web journals because I was very mistaken as a father. And when I was in dire need, the services available failed me miserably. And I saw on television today a man admit, yes, talking about a woman that had been abused, and he helped her tell her story, and he said all the systems had failed. All the systems in place had failed her. And the auditor of the show, the host of the show, who audits the show, glossed right over that and got all caught up in judging the abuser. I don't appreciate abusers. I don't think they ought to get away with what they do. But in this perspective, it's very important that we understand that mistakes are made, even by the authorities, and we gloss over it because we want to give them a second chance beyond their mistakenness to become self-aware of their own misdoings. And there is where the justice lies. When we can justify those that try to do the right thing by giving them a second chance. The Godhead is effective in the living, growing, and changing, making use of the fixed and set fast.